Hello, StarCraft fans! This is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another Daily Legacy of the Void upload. This is an Archon Mode game between iNcontroL, HuK, Kelazhur, and StrifeCro on Orbital Shipyard. Let's bring up those names, get rid of that production tab, and let's get right on into it. In the bottom left of Orbital Shipyard, we have the pink Protoss team. It is iNcontroL and HuK. And in the top right of Orbital Shipyard, we have the red Terran team. It is Kelazhur and StrifeCro. So you're wondering, Falcon, how on earth are these amazing players in an Archon Mode match? And the answer is, Blizzard actually held a tournament of Archon Mode games with professional players held on Twitch back on November 15th, which is a Sunday. It was held on twitch.tv/StarCraft, so go ahead and subscribe there if you want more of this stuff. But they basically said, let's get some of the best players on Earth, some of the best pros, put them in Archon Mode teams, and see what happens. And this is the result. Somebody sent me some replays from that tournament to my email address at falconpaladin@gmail.com and said, hey, you should cast these ones, specifically selected games that were awesome, and gave them to me. And I don't know if Blizzard's okay with this. I hope that they are, because I'm really excited to cast them. I already did one PVZ involving Stefano, Violet, and it was HuK and TT1, and it was some of the best play I've ever seen in Legacy of the Void because look, APM is insane. It's like double what it normally is here because you have two players controlling each team, which means one player here can be harassing this probe, or the probe can be harassing the SCV, and somebody's back home macroing. You don't lose anything by doing this. You have so much micro potential with somebody else on your team devoted to dealing with harassment and perhaps army control, and the other person just dealing with macro, building units, getting bases out, and the like. So again, really excited to bring you this game. It looks like both players are going for more of a macro type play here. It's not going to be anything cheesy. It's not going to be a double pylon rush with the photon overcharge ability. That probe does manage to escape with 4 hit points remaining. One more hit from that Marine would have killed it. It does 6 damage with that Gauss rifle. SCV coming to scout things out. Cybernetics core just finishing here, immediately getting a mothership core. All Protoss players love their mothership core. So very, very much because of the photon overcharge ability. Now she starts with the ability to photon overcharge 2 pylons. 1, 2. Target for some reason on top of that for a minute. Eventually we'll have enough energy with 200 max here to photon overcharge 8 pylons, which is crazy talk. Mothership core chasing this SCV around and does kill it. A bit of a misclick there from Kelazhur and StrifeCro. I'm not sure who was actually controlling that, but did lose the SCV. Got a pretty good scout off though. Saw the gas, obviously. You know what? I haven't seen really any 1 gas builds from Protoss. They all want that 2 gas immediately for the Adepts, for the Mothership core, etc. Actually, Mothership core does cost 100, so yes, 100 gas is there. Kelazhur and StrifeCro getting another command center to help with the other 2 that they have already, and a second Nexus is up for our Protoss team, iNcontroL and HuK. Moving out across the map for some harassment is the Mothership core from iNcontroL and HuK, trying to see what it can kill. There's not a third base, so good scout. Is the move speed increased on this thing? 2.62 move speed. Looks a little faster for some reason. Going to try to kill this SCV before it finishes building the command center, and it does get another kill. 2 kills on this Mothership core. Rank Disciple delays the building of the 3rd command center. Meanwhile, a Stalker trying to kill this bunker all by its lonesome. A Marine comes in and chases it away. Mothership core, what are you doing? There are Marines on the field. You know that. Get out of there. Mothership core backing on out there. Once again, trying to kill some stuff. That group of Marines is very, very close, though. They're stutter stepping forward and stimming, not stimming, because they don't have stim yet. They will soon, but not yet. And the command center does finish for Kelazhur and StrifeCro. Meanwhile, the 3rd Nexus is already up and on the way for iNcontroL and HuK. Getting that +1 armor, actually. Choosing that instead of the attack upgrade, which tells me, I don't know, Adepts. What benefits most from armor? Extra armor on Adepts is pretty nice. Mothership core again, now with 3 kills, being chased away by these Marines, keeping the Marines inside the base. That's the good thing about this Mothership core, and you see how many clicks are going on telling this Mothership core where to go. It is either iNcontroL or HuK that is controlling this. Possibly iNcontroL because of the name Control. I don't know. But yeah, just the micro potential is just so much more in these Archon Mode matches. And does Kelazhur and StrifeCro feel safe enough? Do they feel safe enough to actually land the command center on the low ground? They should. There's nothing much here. There's a Stalker on the low ground. But it looks like iNcontroL and HuK are just macroing up. They're trying to get their tech up. They're trying to get that third Nexus up. And then I believe we will see an army coming out from the Pink Protoss team. Getting so much gas. Only 2 workers on this gas. I wonder if that's a mistake. What are you guys is doing macro? There should not be any mistakes here. I'm kind of surprised by that. But only 2 workers here as well. Okay, now there's 3. And there's still 2 here. Indeed. Landing the Orbital Command, feeling very safe at this point, Kelazhur and StrifeCro. But look at this. Only Marines coming out. Trying to take down this Stalker. The Stalker does have greater range than the Marines and is faster. So it can kite them pretty much all day. They don't really want to chase that Marine or that Stalker any further. Just shoo her or him. Are Stalkers dudes? Stalkers are dudes. They sound like dudes. Shoo the Stalker away from this ramp. And Mule's coming on down on that third base as well. It is 44 to 51 total harvesters, though. iNcontroL and HuK really using their ability. The ability on the... where is this? The Chrono Boost ability. On their workers for a while. They're now actually choosing to Chrono Boost out. Look at this. Resonating Glaives. Increases the attack speed of Adepts by 45%. The Forge here. Upgrade ground armor level 2. They really want these Adepts to be tanky. This is an interesting build. I don't really know what to make of it. Templar Archives coming up as well. Possibly some Archons. They do not benefit from shields at all. Hardly. So I'm not sure if we're going to see Archons or possibly just Templar with Storm. Which is good against this bio-heavy composition that Kelazhur and StrifeCro are using. Back in the days of Heart of the Swarm, TVPs usually came down to whether the Protoss wanted to use Colossus or Storm to deal with the bio balls. And honestly, I saw more success using Storm than I did Colossus, just because a stimmed group of Marauders could stim right up there, snipe down a Colossus in about 2 hits. It seemed like Stalker taking down a Marine here, whereas Storm was had a lot more range, couldn't be as focused down as easily. Ghosts were definitely a problem, but other than that, I felt like Storms were just a better option and saw, again, Protoss players have better success with that. And yes, indeed, Sonic Storm is on the way. For the Protoss player, Templar are being morphed in. They need some time to gather up enough energy to get some storms off, but here are the Adepts. Do they have that +2 yet? No. 23 damage versus light with this Glaive Cannon. Their weapon speed has been increased by the Resonating Glaives, and that +2 armor just about to finish. Is it being chrono boosted? It's still going to be quite a while here yet. Marine Scouts on and it's destroyed for its trouble. Poor Marine. Observer checking this out. How are these guys' upgrades? +1 attack is here. +1 armor's on the way, but not quite there yet. Just doing the dance, getting rid of the Observer, recognizing where it was, stimming and killing it after a scan. A drop up here with Zealots, though, in the natural base, killing a lot of SCVs. Warp Prism, warping in more Zealots. The Zealots, I think they were trying to take down that tech lab. Couldn't quite get it before Combat Shield finished. Mothership Core, or Warp Prism, forced to retreat. And 2 medevacs coming in here as well. There are cannons, though. Ooh, cannons are good at actually deterring drops. They can't really kill anything that quickly, but if there are cannons there and your medevacs are taking shots before they even land, that makes a Terran player feel very, very nervous indeed. What is this? Mothership Core trying to kill these unbuildable plates all by her lonesome just to avoid a misclick, is what I've been told about from Protoss and Terran players. And Marines running around, more Marines running around. Do we see any Cyclones or Liberators or anything, Kelazhur and StrifeCro? Nothing at all. Is this straight up Heart of the Swarm style? It looks like it may well be. Zealots in the Warp Prism heading on down again. There's still nothing here but a bunker. And there's a missile turret. Run, Warp Prism, dropping the Zealots and running for their lives. Small group of Marines are here to deal with these Zealots. Good stim, moving them away. Groups picking up into 4 fully full medevacs here. Yikes. How are the upgrades on these Marauders? +1/+1. So many cannons. More gateways being thrown down just to restrict the ability here. Oh, High Templar warp on in. They want to get some feedbacks off. They get the feedbacks on the medevacs, greatly wounding them indeed. The cannons, a storm pretty much misses there. Does kill a couple Marauders, a couple Marines, but there's still a pretty big bio ball back here. Meanwhile, Adepts are going to town on this natural base, actually killing a supply depot. And Marines, surprisingly enough. There's an Archon here, though. An Archon, and it melts. And another Archon getting killed as well. But it did take enough damage to wow the Stalkers and the Adepts to finish off the rest of this army. And guess what? The Zealots are still in here, forcing the army back. Adepts killing Marauders. You don't see that every day. Is there enough DPS to actually kill that? There is. There's enough DPS to kill the Marauder, even if it's being healed temporarily, and the Adepts both die. Meanwhile, DTs are in here killing add-ons. Look at this. Going after the Tech Lab, trying to kill SCVs as well. There's a scan that comes up. The DTs run. This one gets murdered. The other 2 sit just outside the circle. Do Kelazhur and StrifeCro know it's there? And they do. The DTs are going to end up dead. Adepts chasing this group of Marauders down, pinning them against the wall, trying to make it so they can't retreat, getting shots off. The Marauders are falling to the resonating glaives, but the rest of the aggression for the Protoss player is done. All the Marauders done here as well. So no pink on the red side, no red on the pink side. It sounds like a steak order. No pink, or pink on the red side, red on the pink side if you're ordering it like medium well, or like medium rare. I don't know what I'm saying. We're just casting StarCraft here today. So 10 minutes into the game, Liberators finally out for Kelazhur and StrifeCro. I like to see that, indeed. Liberators are coming out to do some damage, but again, the photon cannon count is pretty high. But a Liberator might be able to slip back this way and set up camp here and do some damage to that worker count. Ooh, proxy gateway, possibly more DTs? I think the DTs will be here to maybe take down a command center that attempts to be built there, a 4th base when the time comes. Warp Prism with 2 Templar. It is a Templar drop, a Psystorm drop, if you will. Does get scouted by the Liberators. Run, Warp Prism, run! It is faster using Storm to try to kill the Liberators and actually trying to get some units out before it ends up... Oh, it does get off just barely. Stalkers blink in. They took kill a Liberator. Nice job there. What is this? A Marine takes out a probe hiding in the corner there. Observer sees the army composition coming out. Marines. Marauders with +2/+2 attack there. How are the upgrades for the Protoss team? Protoss team, where are you? There you are. +2/+3 on the armor. +3 attack on the way at the same time. So Protoss definitely has the upgrade advantage, has the Storms, has the Adepts, and with the heart of the Swarm composition is Kelazhur and StrifeCro. Can't really blame them. It works. It still works. There's really nothing that completely counters this in the game, which is insane because it's been a composition for so long. Few units come up early and die, including that Widow Mine. Larger group coming over from the right side. Cannons killing that Widow. No, don't kill the Widow Mine. They should have focused it down. Cannons die immediately. Feedbacks on the medevacs. They're very low on health. Another good Storm chasing this group away, but it's still pretty scary. Storm on top of, I think that was a Widow Mine that it got. Not sure. Templar energy looking pretty darn good as well. Another Liberator gets taken down by Stalkers. Maybe this is why Terran don't like to make Liberators that much. Moving right on up here. Stalkers, Zealots, Templar, and a DT. DT might end up dead, and no, it does not. Storm, though, actually killing his own DT there. Zealots charging on in with their charge legs, trying to kill some stuff. The main army being chased away here by some Stalkers and some Storms as well. And look at this. Zealots still holding their own, taking down Marauders, taking down Marines that aren't being microed particularly well here. You need to stim and run away against this. An Archon being morphed right in this mineral line. Look at this, going after SCVs as well. The army for iNcontroL and HuK, rather, not Puck, are running on up and actually ravaging this 3rd base. It is completely falling apart. The army is coming down for Kelazhur and StrifeCro, saying we can handle this. We're going to base trace this Protoss team for sure. Mothership core does get burned down immediately, not after getting down 5 photon overcharges though. The pylons get focused down and wow, melted with that +3 attack on those Marines and those Marauders. They do a lot of damage, especially with stim. This base is completely gone for iNcontroL and HuK here, burning down the supply depot wall with some sentries. It looks like that might take a while. And yes, DTs morph in. They do get some shots off, but the stim comes up and the DTs die. So this base completely gone. It is 2 base to 2 base. No, this base is up and running for iNcontroL, actually, surprisingly still here. iNcontroL and HuK. A few Marauders here trying to do what they can, kill some of these workers, but the Blink Stalkers show right up, take out every single one of those Marauders. The main army's coming in, taking down pylons, depowering buildings left and right. Everything here is depowered, I guess, except for these 2 things, because they're still inside this pylon's ability range. Zealots getting rid of missile turrets, Adepts killing buildings. That's not something you see every day as well. The Archon with 20 kills is an Executor, going after buildings as well. I feel like Kelazhur and StrifeCro have a better potential for DPS. Their army is just a little bit more damaging on the output there, and you'll notice it here, just taking out those Zealots. A big Storm, though, greatly weakening these Marauders, and another Storm taking out a Marauder. These guys are super low on health. The Stalkers take them out immediately with just a couple shots there, and lifting off all their buildings are Kelazhur and StrifeCro. They're probably having a conversation in chat about what they should do next. This Archon's almost dead, but regenerating its shields fairly quickly, and that's it. The good game well played from Kelazhur and StrifeCro. And today, iNcontroL and HuK have won the game. Yahoo! Fantastic. Back and forth TVP. That looks weird. Animation looks stuck. Anyway, good stuff indeed. I liked the... So basically, Blizzard got rid of a shield upgrade that Adepts had back in the beta, which gave them additional shield on top of what they already had, which is pretty beefy. It made them nigh unkillable in a lot of scenarios. And so iNcontroL and HuK, instead of complaining about that being taken away, went ahead and got early shield upgrades for their Adepts to make them that much more tanky. They could hold their own against Marauders, surprisingly, especially with that Resonating Glaives upgrade, and said we can make Adepts good again, and they did. And I mean, it was basically Storm and Archons were the tier 3 units they used. There were no Colossus. There were no disruptors. They pretty much won the game with some really good micro decisions, taking care of this base as well, coming up in this, able to take out this area while at the same time holding off the attack on their own 4th, and that was it. So resources lost tab here, 12,600 minerals lost for the Protoss, 3,200 gas, and 19,800 minerals lost, 3,500 gas for the Terran. That's surprising. I guess 90 workers killed would probably do that for you on the mineral count, but 90 workers, 90 SCVs lost for the Terran team as well. Just brutal. Brutal indeed. All right, so that's it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.